me, voice it out. Okay? So the child will voice out, "Ma, I don't like the way that yes, you came in only, I was watching TV, you shouted at me." Then I will say, "I'm sorry about it. How do you think that I should respond?" Okay? They say, "Ma, you could have told me in a better way. At least, come and pat me and tell me what is the time, why you still watching TV." So if I want some work to be done also, okay, now, do you think that everything that I should do, can you please make sure that I clean the garbage? That is your work, can you clean the garbage every day? They agree. And now, they are going to do what they agree. They are not going to do things that we command them to do. Okay, if we command them to do, they have hatred against us. They will not want to do what we want them to do. But if they agree to do it, okay, they agree to water the plants. So this is very, very important to have a meeting with your family members every month once at least, okay, and treat everyone equally. You are not supposed to raise the voice. Even they say anything bad about you, agree to it and say sorry. And then this is the way that the child will accept you and agree to whatever you say also. Okay, this is very, very important. I think in the next class maybe they will give it. It's really, really very important. So in this way we can get our children do the things. Okay, we actually make a commitment to do and they make a commitment.
Let's now look at how we went through how to. Let's just look at this. When you transform yourself, this is how you bring about the inner transformation in yourself. Reading good books, what does that do? It changes your perceptions and your conditioning. And then it helps to cultivate good thoughts. It helps with self-analysis. And then it gets rid of negative conditioning. Sometimes we have been told certain things, we are conditioned negatively. And then you read other literature and you realize that it's wrong. What we are thinking so long is wrong. There is another perspective to it. And there is another way of looking at things. So this is how you can bring about the inner transformation. What else can you do? Choose a role model to imitate. This is where grandparents come in. Sometimes they have some wise opinions. And it is true that you can choose a person to imitate who's similar, who's brought up children well or whatever. If something you see positive in them, you can choose to imitate them in that aspect, that one aspect. Your own parents, your spouse's parents, your teachers or peers. Okay? This brings about inner transformation as well. Management of thought, breath and time. We'll go through that in a few slides. How do you do this? What happens when you manage your thought, your breath and your time? How do you do this? This is one of the main ways to get strength of mind. How do you manage thoughts? Like we said, thought is an energy. How do you manage your thoughts? You're having positive thoughts, but you need to manage it. Even sitting quietly. Basically, the best way to manage thoughts is to sit quietly. Silent sitting, we call it. I think in ADHD class here also they do that. Silent sitting. But sitting silently doesn't mean you're not having any thoughts. You might be raging thoughts going on in your mind, but you're sitting so silently. But the mind is not stable at all. Okay? So how do you manage your thoughts? Filter every thought, only positive thoughts coming in. At the same time? Huh? Yeah, you filter all the thoughts that come into your mind. Okay? Then you manage your breath. How do you manage breath? Our body is rhythmic. There is a rhythm in our body. And how do you have to follow that rhythm. When you are extremely happy and you are laughing a lot, and you laugh and laugh and laugh, in the end you're breathing very, very fast. Or if you are very sad and you're crying, then suddenly you're breathing very fast as well. That's not rhythmic. You need to practice rhythmic breathing. Okay? Basically, we can just do a very simple way of doing it. Just 2 fingers, put on your forehead. Shall we just do it? Put on your forehead like that. This thumb, you close one nostril. This finger also close the other nostril. Okay? Put the two fingers here. Let go of this one and you take in a breath. Count of 4. Hold that breath for 2 counts. Close that nostril. Release this other nostril and let it go for count of 4. So you take in 4, you hold 2 and you breathe out 4. So this is how to control breathing. Pranayama they call it. Okay? Management of time. How do you manage time? We say, I have no time, I've got this class and this work and that job and so many things to do. I've got no time to do anything else. But what is actually this no time? What is it about? When you need to pack a bag, you need to iron your clothes nicely and put it into the bag. If you take all from here, from there, push it all into the bag and to try to close, can you close? You're not close. You iron it neatly, nicely, you put it at the base, it will be in half empty, only half full the bag will be. Okay? So that is how you manage time, your time. What happens when you manage your time? Management of thought, breath and time leads to cultivation of faith, becomes forgiving and can sympathize. This leads to an outer transmission. When you transmit to your children, you will be focused, you will be analytical, you will learn to choose your words, you will not nag the child or shut off the mind. Expectations or ideal of what you were as a 12-year-old. As a 12-year-old. You will set an example. Here, Drishti creates Srishti. We learned about with Gandhi's mother and Edison's mother. It was their vision for the child that created such a child. You will become aware and you will recognize potential in the child. You will set a goal, and as you think, so you become. Earlier we said to be a conscious parent, you need awareness, you need to be effective, you need strength of mind. But what is the strength of mind? Why do you need strength of mind? And how do you have a strong mind? Okay, let's just look at that. Benefits of it. Regulated breathing. This is what we said just now. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling in a measured manner. It will help you. Even in a school, in a classroom situation, I think this school they do that. Do they do that for your classrooms? Teachers? No. Do your children follow this in class? No. Not yet. They're going to bring it in. Okay. The teacher says, I want you to close your eyes and imagine a beautiful seashore. Okay? Each child is imagining it differently. This child thinks of that when he's sitting on a hill and looking at the seashore. This child is standing on a rock and looking at it. This child is at the night. He's walking in the beach at night. Okay? Each child will imagine different views, and it opens up their imagination. Just visual imagery is very good for children to develop their mind, for parents too. Okay. Being engaged in loving selfless service of the diseased and distressed. Not only for people, for animals too. Even those who dislike you or curse you, you still love them and you do service for them. For your parents and your loved ones. Children watch us and they learn. If you're looking after your parents or you're doing things for your grandparents, they learn. Okay? Yeah? You go hospitals. People who are laid up there for years and years, orthopedic ward. You go and see them, talk to them, maybe give them some food, this kind of things. It makes you realize how lucky you are. It's like the man who said he had no shoes. He complained that he had no shoes until he saw a man with no feet. So he realized how lucky he was. Okay? So this is helping us to grow. All forms of regular and earnest spiritual exercise. Temples and churches and mosques and whatever, any kind of place of worship have got an aura about them. Okay? That's why the older the temple, the more power it has, they say. Because more and more people have gone there over the years and prayed over it.